If you're tired of cheese and crackers as an appetizer, I've got the dish for you. You can take it to the next level with my baked brie with cherries and pistachios. Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV. I'm your host, Peter Lee. On this channel, we teach you all about celebrating. We share recipes for food, hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, and we share entertaining tips too. Now we try and keep this all as simple as possible, especially for those of you out there who say that you just can't cook or entertain, because we know that you really can. So if you like this episode, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and watch a new episode every single week. Today, our celebration is all about an appetizer that's easy to make, elegant, and just delicious. We are making a baked brie. What's a baked brie? Brie is a cheese. It's a mild, soft cheese, but we're going to put it in pastry with some fillings. So let's get started. Now we're using cherries today, which is kind of Christmassy and kind of delicious. I'm going to start, I have a little bowl here to mix these ingredients up. I have to start a 1/4 cup of dried cherries. You can get dried cherries in your supermarket where the raisins and cranberries are, etc. like that. If you can't find them, you can use cranberries, but do try and find cherries. They're just delicious. So right in our little bowl. Next, I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of pistachios. I bought these pre-shelled. I just chopped them up a little bit. You could use some other nuts, but the pistachios gives it a little extra something. And it's the holidays, so we want to be a little more. Next, I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. You can use light brown, dark brown, doesn't matter. 2 tablespoons. That's just going to add a little more sweetness, balance out the cherries a bit. We're going to give this a quick little mix just to help get them mixed up evenly so they're perfect with the brie. Okay, quick little mix. Next, I have some brandy, 1 tablespoon. Now, if you want, you could use Kirsch, which is a brandy made from cherries and it's clear. But sometimes it's kind of hard to find, so whatever your favorite brandy or cognac might be, you can use. 1 tablespoon. Now this is optional. You can leave this out, but I recommend keeping it in. It just adds a little bit of warmth and that extra little something that you want on the holidays. Or anytime, really. All right, give that a nice mix and that brandy smells wonderful already. Let's move that out of the way. And that. Now, I'm using my favorite store-bought pie crust. If you want to make pie crust, please do. I'm terrible at pie crust, so I use store-bought. And that's perfectly okay. So I'm just going to unroll it. I just followed the package directions. I pulled it out a little while ago so it came up to room temperature. I'm going to actually just put the filling right down in the center. Just kind of pile it around. About the size of the brie, which isn't very big at all. So just like that. It's okay if it goes a little haphazard, but that's fine. Easy so far. Now let's talk brie. What's brie? I said it's a very soft cheese. This is the type that I get. You can find this in the supermarket. This is a 16-ounce wheel of brie. You can get them a lot larger, you can get them smaller and in different varieties. This is the type that I like. So I'm going to take the lid off here. I'm not going to throw it away. So here's my wheel of brie. This has a rind on it. It's perfectly edible. It's perfectly delicious. So we're just going to leave this on. You don't have to cut it off. So we're just going to center that right on top of that filling. Still with me? It's pretty easy. And this is going pretty fast. Now we're going to fold up this pie crust and encase this brie and its stuffing in this wonderful crust. You could, if you wanted, you could do this with puff pastry, but I find puff pastry sometimes is a little fussy, so I prefer to use pie crust. I find it more consistent. Now I folded that all up with a little exposed area, but that's okay. Gently move that aside. I'm going to take my other crust. I'm going to unroll it. And that's where this lid comes into play. This is going to be your cheapest, best cookie cutter right now. Just going to center it and push it down. Just like that. Peel this away. And look, I have a perfectly round disc that is going to fit on top of here. But first, I want to give this a little egg wash to glue it down. Egg wash is just an egg that I mix up with some water. Easy peasy. Just gonna brush it on. And this will just help glue it down. Now look at this, how easy. Now you have the perfect size bottom for it. Okay. Just push it a little bit, get it in there. Now, we need to go to the oven soon, so let me get a pan for you. I have my favorite tried and true little roasting pan. I put some parchment down in it. I can't tell you how many baked bries this pan has seen. So we are going to gently lift this up and flip it over. So we have that beautiful crust on top. And we're going to give it an egg wash. Egg wash is going to make this shiny and golden. Very simple. Okay. You want to go all over. You want to do the sides and the top. Okay. Now, if you were going to decorate it, this would be the time you could put some more little pie crust things on it and give them an egg wash too. I'm not going to because I like the simple elegance of just the plain crust, but you can be as fancy as you like. Now, this is going to go into an oven that I preheated to 400 degrees. We're going to bake it for 25 minutes maybe until it's golden brown. So here we go. Off to the oven. Okay, here we are, all out of the oven. Now, since this came out of the oven, I let this sit for another 20 minutes to let it firm up. Now, it's still pretty warm, but why did I let it firm up? If I had cut this right out of the oven, all that cheese in there would have been totally liquid. It would have just run out all over the place, and then I would have an empty pie shell and cheese everywhere, and that wouldn't be very appetizing, wouldn't? So, let's cut into this. Nice sharp knife. I'm just going to cut a little wedge on this pretty plate. All right. Ooh, look at that. Ooey gooey. Delicious. Now I'm going to turn this around. Even after resting, you see it's still running out of it, and that's okay. But isn't that glorious looking? So let me give you a little taste. This is something you want to eat with a knife and fork. You could do crackers or fruit, I suppose, but I like it with knife and fork. That is beautiful. If you're a cheese lover like me, this is the ultimate. That brie is ooey and gooey and just unctuous. And the cherries give a little bit of sweetness with that brown sugar and the cognac. And then those pistachios give a nice little crunch, a nice little undertone of saltiness, which is just beautiful. Goes well with a little wine, like so many of my dishes do. So, as always, we will have this recipe up in the comment section of YouTube like we do every single week. And keep sending in pictures and questions and everything. Now, remember, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. It's so important to us, and we love it when you do that. And please keep following us on social media too. So, as always, you're all invited to come over next Tuesday at 7 p.m. when we'll see you, because you're all invited to come on over, come on in, and let's celebrate. Cheers.